Remco Evenepoel with his first big opportunity to win a Tour de France stage, and how much time could Tadej Pogacar take, if any, on Jonas Vingegaard? The first time trial from Nuit Saint-Georges to Gévry-Chambertin, 25.3 kilometers, hilly, a 1600 meter, 6.5% climb in the middle, and some rolling hills around the course, but a fast tailwind to the finish. A few technical corners at the start and through the towns in the last 5 kilometers, but a pretty good course for Tadej Pogacar and Remco Evenepoel and Kevin Vauquelin, who has been good in Bessèges, and even against the big boys in Pays Vasco, he ran fifth behind Roglic on a very hilly TT similar to this. So, and he's in good shape. He obviously won a stage already in this year's Tour de France. Stefan Kung, though, always with the bad luck, dropped his chain after, I think, the first intermediate whilst he was on the climb, and got caught even by Abrahamson, who he'd already gone past, and that will cost him at least 3 or 4 places in this TT. Victor Campenaerts dials back the clock, goes into the hot seat, his best TT in a number of years. Julien Bernard having fun with his fan club. Romain Bardet, he knew where the camera was positioned halfway through the TT. Ben Healy troubled the scorers early, actually faster than Vauquelin at the top of the climb, but then, like I said, that fast tailwind finish, not the best for the lightweight climbers or lightweight riders like Healy. Pogacar warming up. We see suddenly the images of all the GC guys getting the engines going. Pogacar, the best out of all these GC contenders, sort of punching out of corners. We've got Remco Evenepoel, though, the heavy favourite for the TT. There's almost no one faster on the flat. He's the world champion in the time trial for a reason. Roglic looking pretty chill, just on the road bike warming up. Jorgensen goes as well. Van Aert didn't have a good TT, so we'll see, is it a systemic problem at Visma? But Jorgensen did a good TT just behind Campenaerts by 2 seconds. Almeida, you'd be wanting to put on a good performance to show that maybe he should be the last man for Tadej Pogacar and deserves a protected status, and he did a good TT as well, just behind Jorgensen. Rodriguez, not the best TT for him on the climb. You'll see later Remco in the extensions on this section on the climb. Rodriguez okay on the hills, but struggled a little bit, or quite a bit, in the flatter or rolling terrain. He'd lose best part of a minute and a half to the eventual winner. But it was time for the big four to go, as they're called. Roglic, Evenepoel, Vingegaard, and Tadej Pogacar. We've never seen them all in one race together, I don't think, before this year's Tour de France. Definitely not the Tour de France before, and I couldn't wait to see how they'd all go against each other, even if Remco was the favourite. But in the initial corners, definitely Tadej Pogacar took a few seconds, if not 5 seconds. If you have a look at his new TT bike that UAE Team Emirates have just rolled out for him, he was absolutely railing these corners much, much quicker than almost any other rider through them, although nearly came a cropper through the last corner in the town where it started. Vingegaard, though, looked like he was going pretty well on these sort of false flat drag uphill. Not as good as Evenepoel, but still not disgracing himself. Pogacar as well. We were only getting rolling time checks to Campenaerts, but look at the different positions. Roglic a bit more tucked up, Vingegaard kind of low but extended, and Pogacar looks like he's in a very comfortable sort of neutral position. That was interesting. They all go past the same place to see the different positions. But Vingegaard was 9 seconds ahead of Campenaerts at T1. He wasn't there on the provisional hot seat for long because Remco was 10 seconds quicker than him, which meant he was 2 seconds quicker than Pogacar. That means he was 8 seconds quicker than Vingegaard doing quick maths. Roglic, though, he started to speed up. He was 20 seconds down on Remco at T1, but on this descent, he was the quickest GC contender, I think. Absolutely nailed all the corners, and Vingegaard slowed down considerably from the top of T2. You'll see here at the top of the climb, he's got a healthy margin of 15 seconds on Primoz Roglic, although compared to Remco Evenepoel, it's not much because he was absolutely storming up the climb. Evenepoel another 23 seconds quicker than Jonas Vingegaard at the end of the climb, and the rest of the terrain suited him well. Pogacar, though, lost a bit of time at the end of the climb to Evenepoel. It went out another 8 seconds in the wrong direction from his perspective, and Roglic started to claw time back on this 60 kph false flat downhill section. Vingegaard started to run out of gas, and Pogacar on the descent pretty good technically, but even he blew up a little bit. He seemed to overpace, whereas Roglic, he finished really strong, 51.5 k an hour average, and he'd actually beat Vingegaard in this TT after being down early. But Remco, he looked on course for an easy dubski. Vingegaard wasn't going to trouble him. He was behind Roglic at this point. Then all of a sudden, bang, Remco puts the hand out. He thought he heard that he'd had like a catastrophic puncture, but actually there was a noise around him, and then he puts his hand out, and then he bounces the back tire, and then realizes or hopes that it's still inflated and continues on. So he probably only lost like a second at most. But still, with a second compared to Tadej Pogačar, that could be the difference between winning or losing this TT. He has to get back up to speed. Pogačar looks like he's cruising, although it's hard to tell from the eye test when they're going like 60 kilometers an hour. In the end, Remco smashes Roglic time 34.5 seconds, and if the provisionals or the intermediates were to be believed, Pogačar wasn't gonna come close to Evenepoel, losing out on first spot by 12.5 seconds. Remco watching on the small TV after, glad the job's done, but Pogačar takes more time on Vingegaard. But the first Tour de France stage win for Remco Evenepoel, you can see the relief almost physically washing over him. It's the first time he's been at this race, and what a week he's had, in the best shape I think I've ever seen him in terms of GC in his career. Winning the stage, 12 seconds ahead of Pogačar, then 34 to Roglic, 25 from Pog to Vingegaard on 37, then Campenaerts, Vauquelin, Jorgensen, Almeida, Healy, Kung round out the top 10. Here's what Remco had to say after the stage.
Yeah, I was on a good day. The climb was actually pretty tough because, of course, I wanted to start fast, and yeah, I had to keep something for the climb, which wasn't easy. And then the descent, when you're a bit on the limit, it was pretty technical and fast. So I enjoyed every meter of this TT, and then coming out with a win is simply amazing. So yeah, super happy. I was pretty sure I had a puncture actually, but I think I was on. Maybe somebody dropped a glass of the public or hit the fence, I don't know, and it was exactly the same sound like a puncture. So I was a bit scared, but then yeah, after a few hundred meters further in the TT, I knew nothing was wrong. So yeah, then I had to keep going with a bit of let's say a bit of scaredness in my head, because yeah, I thought it was a slow puncture maybe. So I wasn't too sure anymore in the last corners, but in the end I just yeah, had to take risks because I know Tadej was pretty close to me. So but in the end, yeah, victory with about 13 seconds is amazing. And yeah, like I said yesterday, Tadej can also do very good TTs, especially in Grand Tour. So it was a close one, but of course I just wanted to win today, and that's accomplished. So very proud.
In terms of GC, no change at the top. Pogačar, in fact, extends his lead to Vingegaard, loses a few seconds to Evenepoel, but he's got a healthy buffer of over 30 seconds to him in second. Roglic moves into fourth over Ayuso, who didn't have his best TT. Almeida moves up 1 second behind Ayuso. Landa Rodriguez moved down. Jorgensen and Vlasov move up a few spots as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you at the recap tomorrow. Ciao.